Hi, and welcome back to the garden. I'm Tara Swiger, and it is July 29th, and we're going to take a tour around my garden to see what's growing. I'm sitting here in front of the basil, and the amaranth is behind me. The tomatoes are going crazy, and the broccoli actually decided to give me a head of broccoli. It is so exciting. So everything's just about ready to pick, so come and check it out with me. Okay, so we're going to start at the same place we started last month, and you'll see my Rose of Sharon is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I'm so happy with it. Look at how beautiful. Then we've got the bird bat and a dahlia. I think this is Rebecca Lynn dahlia. I usually am cutting them for cut flowers, but I've just left some on here the past few days. I need to come in and deadhead them. No, look at how many buds it has. It's all a flower. Yeah, I've got a hollyhock here, which has done absolutely nothing. This bed needs to be weeded. This, I believe, is my K.A.'s Khaleesi dahlia. You can see it is huge. This has been pinched back, but it's still made like a broomstick handle. And you can see it's got I pinched it back down there, so it branched off. And this is the second branch. And when I cut this one, I'll cut it deep and it'll branch off again. Just waiting for it to bloom. It's so beautiful. I've got another little baby dahlia here that I planted in June. So I don't think it's gonna bloom this year, but hopefully it'll fill up its tubers. Then we've got salvia, which already bloomed once and I cut it back and it's blooming again. And then we've got, this is a weed and I have no idea what this is, but I'm letting it bloom because it's covered in what looks to be flowers. So I didn't have anything else here but milkweed, and the milkweed wasn't blooming, so I was letting it be kind of a bully and take over. We've got echinacea here. Then I planted two bare root echinacea, which haven't come up at all, and I'm hoping they come up next year. Some pink petunias, some thyme, which is doing really well. I haven't harvested from it at all, but I probably should. Also need to do some weeding. Sage, doing amazing. Lemongrass, lavender, which you can see the sage is being a little pushy with the lavender. I need to cut back the sage. Rosemary, which is just completely taken off, and you can see the hollyhock is right here. It has put up absolutely no blooms at all, so I'm hoping it comes back next year. I was counting on it blooming and self-seeding, but they are biennials, so my hope is it'll come back next year and bloom. And then here we have a sunflower, which just absolutely refuses to open. It's been at this stage for like a week. You can see how many buds is on that. This has also been trimmed down actually by a squirrel, got to it and ate right there. And then my broccoli actually put heads on. I can't believe it. I planted this broccoli in May, and it has just sat here with absolutely no heads. But I did have 5 of them in this space, and I think they were crowded, and I think they didn't have enough food, so I've fed them and watered them, and here they are. I was about ready to pull these up and plant something else here, so it's pretty amazing. And back here I have some, not cilantro, parsley that is doing okay. Probably need to harvest from. And here we have some seeds that I've started. So this is some holy basil, some regular basil, some teddy bear sunflowers, and some, let's see, evening sun sunflowers. So my whole front bed is a mess and needs to be weeded, but I wanted to show you my coral bells, or heuchera, are doing so well. Look at those extra buds that are coming up. These are just absolutely thriving. This bed gets so much more sun than in the summer than it does in the winter, and I didn't really realize that, so I planted things that would do well in more shade, but these thankfully are loving it. They're sending up tons of little buds. My alyssum is really happy here as well and just is doing so well. I'm actually going to plant some more out here. My astilbes are looking a little sad, but my laurel, my rhododendron, is gonna bloom again, I think, this fall. But I'm really happy with these coral bells. Okay, now walking around from the back towards the side yard, you can see this is my favorite part of the garden, this kale and basil kind of hedge. We had a kale that got too big and fell over right here. I'm gonna fill that in with some of these basil seedlings I showed you. And then we've got the gorgeous cinnamon basil. I'm specifically letting it bloom because I'm using it in bouquets, and the pollinators absolutely love it. And then we have more kale that we planted from seed. We've got a mahogany splendor, and this is amaranth. I'm growing for a cut flower, not for the seeds. Isn't that beautiful? So this is Coral Fountain Amaranth. These are old seeds from Floret from 2 or 3 years ago. You can see the bugs love the leaves, but I don't mind. And then we have this green amaranth growing, which I think was supposed to be Love Lies Bleeding, which is a dark red. But I don't know if it's going to turn red later, but right now it is this gorgeous green color. And I realized I should have pinched these back. Their stems are huge. So I've cut a couple that I have inside in a bouquet, and hopefully it'll branch out and produce some more thinner stems. And this is the window where the changing table is, so I love looking out and looking at my flowers here. So we have zinnias, some sunflowers mixed in. I just planted some more little sunflower seedlings and some hotter pink zinnias. I've been cutting these for bouquets, but I wanted to leave them for the garden tour. And then you can see this is at a slant, and so dirt washes away, so the things that I've had here haven't done well. I just planted some more cosmos. This is the one cosmo that survived. You see it's very shallow root system. I keep trying to pat up the dirt around it, but it's not doing so well. And this, I've picked all the pretty ones, but it's apple blossom dahlia. And it's probably too much in the shade. It's still covered in buds. So we have some self-seeding celosia here. I actually think I seeded this up here, and the rain washed it down. This should be an African marigold. I'm just waiting for it to bloom. We've got a Tinnis or a Mountain Fresh slicing tomato here. You see that's the first red tomato I've had that's starting to get red. It's been at this color for a long time. You can see it's the heat is really stressing it out. We've got some apple mint that I got, marigold, chives, kale is being eaten up by the bugs, but I don't worry too much about it because we are getting plenty of kale. Then the basil, and of course we got our zinnias back there. I'm gonna put some of that holy basil right here. Then we've got more basil, and we've got 2 pots that have, this has the African marigolds and some sunflowers, and that has some dill that I actually grew from seed and some more celosia. We've got our hedge of basil, and you can see this is an amaranth that this is a slight grade, and the wash the amaranth down here. I think I should actually pinch that back. So I've been loving using the basil in my bouquets. The bees love the basil. It makes it smell so good. My kitchen always smells like a cinnamony basil now because I have a bouquet sitting on my table. He's just living his best life. And then some kale we started from seed, some marigolds that are being crowded out by the kale. There's also some Swiss chard back here that's being crowded out by the kale. And then right here we have our sugar baby watermelons, which I'm trying to get up to go up the trellis. I think this guy is almost ready. Supposedly when they turn black, they're ready to pick, and he seems almost black to me. So we've got another little guy in there. This one here, and then a couple babies. I think the heat really up. Then we've got our cucumbers. So we have 3 teepees of cucumbers, and I'll tell you, this This is little leaf cucumber, and he's done absolutely the best. Look at that. We have had over 5 pounds of cucumbers. And this has been our big producer so far, which is cool cucumber. But this was absolutely covered with cucumbers, but they have been succumbing to this sad wilty disease. I don't know exactly what it is, but I wanted to leave this on here just to show you. We've been cutting this off. You can see half of it is still okay right here. He still looks fine. But half of it is covered, is wilting. So what we do is we cut this off, we totally remove it, and we throw it away so that we're not spreading the disease to anybody else. But the ones that are doing good are going crazy. There's one I need to pick. I need to come out here as soon as I'm done filming this and pick these. And then we have the raised beds here, which the tomatoes are going absolutely crazy. So these are Sun Gold. They're ripe when they're this orange color, and they are so sweet and so ripe right now. When I get the girls at the end of this school day, we come out here and they just gorge themselves on tomatoes as their afternoon snack. You can see it goes all the way up. I've got 3 per trellis, but really only 2 per trellis are doing the hard work. Like, this is my 3rd guy on this one. You can see he only goes up this far, whereas these 2 are going all the way up and over. And we've been pruning them pretty aggressively to try to keep them from branching everywhere and just sticking to this. And then across the way, we have a California Gold bell pepper, which is big bell peppers, and this is making baby bell peppers, and look how cute they are. I think this one's actually ready to harvest. I'm gonna wait until the girls come home to harvest it with me, but this is about the size. These are like snacking peppers. You can see this one's a little slower, but it's got a baby on there as well. And then we've got 2 marigolds in here with it. And across the way, these are supposed to all be Amish paste tomatoes, which will be good for our sauce and salsa, but a Sun Gold got mixed in. So he is kind of taking over, so we've made him only go that way. And the Amish paste tend to go a little crazy, so we had to kind of aggressively cut them back as well. But they're not ripening up yet. They're all still green. We've got a little nasturtium down there, which none of my nasturtium have bloomed yet. I don't know if it's because they're being overwhelmed by the tomatoes or what. And then across the way, we have, these are Cherokee Purple, and these are suffering from a glut of rain. It has just rained nonstop. So you can see he's split. But I'm waiting for them to become purple or to color up at all. You can see I'm pretty sure these blossoms are gonna fall off because of the heat. But we sure will have a lot of tomatoes the minute these start to ripen. So I hope they ripen soon. Those are Cherokee Purples. So here we have jalapeno peppers. We have one here and one here, and this is a Hungarian hot pepper. It looks like that. And then here we have some basil, which I was trying not to let go to flower, but looks like I'm a little behind on harvesting it. So we'll just pinch that guy off. Hopefully the plant tends to become a little bitter once it goes to flower if you're going to eat it fresh in pesto. So smells so good. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. You can check out my other garden tours here, and stick around and subscribe for videos on overcoming burnout and being a creative business owner. Bye.